In the archives at Wheaton College, Billy Graham Center, you can view the journal of this great man who said, "He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain that which he cannot lose." Philip James Elliot, known as Jim Elliot, born on October 8, 1927, is an American Christian missionary who was one of the five who got killed during the Operation Oka, an attempt to evangelize the Haurani people of Ecuador. Jim was born in Portland, in Oregon. His father's name was Fred, mother's name was Clara. Elliot's parents had very firm Christian belief. They raised their children according to their faith, taking the children to church regularly, reading the Bible regularly. Elliot's parents encouraged their children to be adventurous and encouraged them to live for Christ. Jim Elliot prophesied the faith in Jesus at an early age of 6 and grew up in a home where obedience and honesty was very critical. Jim, as a little boy growing up, he listened carefully to the visiting missionaries who told about their life on faraway mission fields. Jim asked them questions and dreamed about being a missionary himself someday. It made him sad that so many people in other countries died without knowing about God. In 1945, he got enrolled at the age of 18 into Wheaton College and graduated in 4 years as a Bible major with the highest honors. After his college, few months later, a former missionary to Ecuador told Jim about the Indians, Horani or Aqua, a small and fierce unreached people in the jungle. Elliot sensed a call from the Lord to reach this people for Christ, and that's where all started. Out of college, Jim, with his very close friend Pete, said goodbye to his parents and went to Ecuador, South America, a place called Quito. It took 18 days from California to reach over there. 6 months he stayed in the capital of Ecuador to learn Spanish before moving into the deep jungles, where he lived in Shandia, a mission station. In 1953, Jim proposed to Elizabeth Howard on her 21st birthday, who was also a missionary. They got married in a civil ceremony in Quito on Jim's 26th birthday, and they had a daughter called Valerie in 1955. And then the final journey to Palm Beach among the Orcas. 3 years they stayed in Quacas, and many people became faithful Christians. But Jim felt he needs to go to the Orcas and talk about Jesus. In the fall of 1955, the missionaries made an initial contact to the Haurani group. Nate Saint got a plane and he took circles lowering some gifts in a bucket. And also, missionaries used loudspeaker to shout simple Haurani phrases. The Haurani began to reciprocate with gifts of their own. That led them to land. Nate Saint identified a sandbar in near the riverbed, 4.5 miles away from the Haurani location. And they determined a landing strip and they called that Palm Beach. The missionaries arrived there on January 3rd, 1957, and flying over Haurani settlement and telling them in loudspeaker to come and meet them where they are. Nate Saint flew over Akko village and invited all of them to come to the beach. After 4 days, two women came. Somehow they managed in their phrases and languages. They shared a meal. They looked very friendly. On the sixth day, two other women came. Jim and Pete, excited, jumped in the river and waded over to them. But as they grew closer, many people turned. Aqua warriors came with spear. Jim took his gun, but he didn't use it. The Aqua warriors used the spear, killing all the missionaries. The news of 5 missionaries being killed went around the world. Many people started praying. Search team came, found their body. The mission in Aqua was not unsuccessful. 2 years later, Jim's wife, Elizabeth, and his daughter, and Nate's sister stayed in Aqua, and many people came to the. Now it is a very friendly tribe. Many people across the world are challenged by his journal, his work. God can do great things through simple obedience. The life of Jim Elliot was remarkable. He was a godly young man who lived an extraordinary life, and he paid the ultimate price, his life, to bring the gospel to the unreached. His life is a powerful example for Christians, especially young ones, to learn from and imitate.